Good day to all of our valued team members of the district government team. Our format is a bit different due to social distancing, as we normally average 600 full and part-time attendees at these Momentum meetings. You'll notice I'm taking off my mask as we are social distance for this taping. I have asked my senior key staff members to provide an update in the areas of budget, technology initiatives, and capital projects, and then our own Fire Chief Ed McCain will provide an update on fleet, fire services, as well as accreditation and fire and EMT response times. I wanted to take a few minutes and review our organization. As a dynamic entity, we must respond to stimulus and change. Your board supervisors, as well as my senior staff leadership team, have provided valuable input as to their continued desires to further enhance customer service, maintain a government which is respectful of the needs of its residents in consideration of succession planning, as well as the continuance of our efficiency measures as continued to be outlined within our balanced scorecard. You are now seeing the reorganization as reflected on the new org chart that was approved by the Villages Center Community Development District. On the very left side, you will note that Kenny Blocker has been promoted to Deputy District Manager and will assume additional duties while shedding off some important functional areas that we will discuss in just a moment. Mr. Blocker will continue to provide strategic management of the major financial portfolio elements such as finance, purchasing, and budget, but now he will also take on utilities and sanitation, as these are major budget drivers as we face our upcoming growth period and consider our capital investments. Continuous review of finance and span of control is ongoing and ever present within the finance department. As BS&A is fully implemented, more efficiency will be captured, which required talent and restructuring within the finance department. In concert with reviewing the span of control and succession planning, the current accounting manager, Jennifer Lenoris, was reclassified to Assistant Director of Finance. Many of you undoubtedly already are aware that the district has taken a major step forward in minimizing the continued shortfall in revenue that we face within our recycling program. Like many jurisdictions, the district is feeling the monetary impacts of a shrinking global secondary market for our recycled goods and must address the environmental impacts of long hauling our municipal solid waste to a Georgia landfill. In order to address these areas of utilities and sanitation, I have realigned the risk management unit to Mrs. Duckett's portfolio, which we'll discuss in just a minute. Technology and board support services, HR, strategic planning will remain the same, but I have made some changes within the Recreation and Parks Department under Director John Rohan. In order to have a succession plan for this large and growing department, I have appointed 2 assistant directors for this 500-person department. Matt Armstrong was appointed as Assistant Director, Recreation Parks for Operations, and Casey Linton was appointed as Assistant Director, Recreation and Parks for Finance. These 2 appointments of these long-standing team members will ensure appropriate succession planning and accountability as we grow as a district. Likewise, within the Department of Property Management, moving further on to the right, I was very fortunate to be able to promote an in-house candidate. Mr. Blair Bean was promoted to Director to replace longtime Director Sam Whartonby, who recently retired. Blair Bean was formerly the Assistant Director of the Department of Property Management. Mr. Bean will continue the strong management style which has been a hallmark of this department. And again, moving to the right in the organization chart, you will see Executive Golf has not seen any major reorganizational changes. An area which has seen major reorganization and change is under Mrs. Carrie Duckett. She has been promoted to Assistant District Manager, and within her portfolio, you will note that she has taken on Community Watch and Risk Management in addition to Community Standards and Customer Service. Her communication skills and enhancement of customer service makes these 2 new areas an appropriate fit. I just wanted to say a moment of how very proud and thankful I am to each of our team members for all of the different extraordinary measures that you took to serve all of our customers. Whether it was customer service, utility customer service, finance, fire, recreation and parks, our community standards department, Department of Property Management, you have all taken such extraordinary measures to serve our customers. Our customers are our lifeblood, and we couldn't have also done it without purchasing and budget, who kept us moving along. Risk management kept advising us, and every department played a role in this. I want to now introduce our Deputy District Manager, Kenny Blocker, and he will give us an overview on our budget processes.
Thank you, Richard, and good day. My name is Kenny Blocker. I'm the Deputy District Manager, and today I want to talk to you about the fiscal year 2021 budget process. So what is a budget? A budget is a policy and financial plan. It is one of the most important policy documents adopted by the district's Board of Supervisors. The budget incorporates the purpose, the vision, the mission, the core values, major goals and objectives for operational and service delivery policies along all the related costs associated with those. The district budget plans give guidance to departments in their daily operations and provides residents with a basic outline of the direction each district plans to pursue. So what is our structure? So here in the villages we have several different districts. The village community development districts 1 through 13 are all the residential districts, and in their budget structure they have the general fund, they have debt service funds, they have capital project funds. Then we have the Village Center Community Development District, the VCCDD. It has multiple funds associated with it. It has the general fund, the Village of Spanish Springs, Rolling Acres, road maintenance, safety, community standards, the Little Sumter Service Area, and the Village Center Service Area, which is our utilities, and also the Enrichment Academy and the Recreational Amenities Division, which is RAD, what we commonly refer to as RAD. And then of course, we also have the AAC committee that we work closely with. Then we have Sumter Landing Community Development District. That is the SLCDD, which has the Lake Sumter Landing Fund, the Project-Wide Fund, Sumter Landing Amenity Divisions Fund, or the SLAD Fund as we commonly refer to it, and the Fitness Fund. Also utilizing in that, we have the committee, the Project-Wide Advisory Committee. We then also have Brownwood, and we also have the North Sumter County Utility Dependent District, or NSCUD, which is also our utilities for NSU, North Sumter Utility, and Central Sumter Utility, CSU, and also Sanitation, SSF. So the process, although we like to say it is a spring and summertime process, it almost is like a year-long process. In January through March, we start developing that budget calendar. We have budget kickoff meetings with the directors, and all the departments then do their budget submittals. In April and May, we have an internal review by our OMB staff, Office of Management and Budget, followed by budget workshops with not only Project-Wide, PWAC, and AAC, the Amenity Authority Committee, and all the numbered district supervisors. In June and July, we then present the proposed budgets, maintenance assessment rates, and have those adopted for preliminary budgets, and all the requests for personnel are then reviewed as well. In July and August, the cost allocations are performed, the project-wide fund allocation is done, and the community standards allocation is performed as well. And then in September, we do present all the final budgets back to all the boards for approval for those budgets being performed for the next fiscal year. So in May is a very important time for this, for the districts, as we have the major budget workshops and all the reviews. So we conducted 15 budget workshops and reviews with over 30 plus hours with district boards and committees in May, discussing all the recommended budgets for fiscal year 2021. We reviewed all the recommended budgets with boards and committees. We discussed variances from prior year budgets to current year revenue projections and expenditures, and provided a list of all the capital requests. And then each department director presented their projects to seek clarification and direction from each district to proceed. And then it's an opportunity for the residents to participate in all the budget process. So very detailed process that we do perform. And then the fiscal year 21 proposed budgets, in June we go and ask for all the approvals. So in June, proposed budgets were approved during the 18 board and committee meetings with the district board of supervisors in both the AAC and the PWAC. Those proposed budget totals for fiscal year 2021 was $362,684,000. And then the capital projects as well as also presented to the boards, and those proposed budgets were almost $20 million, $19,782,000. So very large budgets that we manage for all the districts. So the number of districts 1 through 13, you ask, what is in those districts? What is in the budgets that they pay for? The number of districts funds pay for maintenance and infrastructure within their boundaries, landscape maintenance, administrative services, and of course their debt service and reserves for the bonds that they did issue. Their major funding sources, the maintenance assessments. Those are the ones that pays for basically all the operations, that pays for the annual budget, and it's calculated on a acres per unit number of lots. The RAD and SLAD funds, the Recreational Amenity Division and the Sumter Landing Amenity Division, those funds pay for the amenity services such as rec centers, pools, executive golf courses, gates and community watch services, common area landscaping and maintenance, administrative services and public safety services, as well as all the debt service and reserves. And those major funding source, of course, is the amenity fees. 93% of the total revenue in RAD and SLAD is from your amenity fees. The project-wide fund, another big fund that we do manage, it is a common infrastructure maintenance cost for all the areas south of 466. So those right-of-way maintenance, those landscape lighting, water retention areas, irrigation, drainage, multimodal paths and tunnel, entry features, walls, fountains, and fences. And of course, the major funding source is the allocation based on the accessible acres of all the participating districts. So each district reviews those allocations back to PWAC, or Project-Wide Advisory Committee. So throughout the summer, we continue to closely review and update the budgets until the final adoption in September. This is typical of the budget process. We present the proposed in June, and then we do the final in September. So the management team is always committed to maximizing revenues and controlling expenditures by analyzing operations for additional efficient and effective service delivery methods. We work diligently as best for stewards of the district funds, ensuring sustainable future. So the fiscal year 2021 budget information is always available for anyone to review. It's on our district website, districtgov.org, under the district's agendas and meetings links, or on the budget link, and you can review the the fiscal year 2021 proposed budget. So with that, I would like to thank you, and also then ask Mr. Bear to come up to present the technology update for the district. So thank you.
Thank you, Kenny. So, as you notice, I am not Brittany Wilson. I'm Richard Berry, District Manager again. Brittany was unable to be with us for this taping of this session, but I wanted to give you an overview of board and support services, including all of our technology projects. The district began, as you know, the BS&A implementation process in January 2019. This phase included the addition of finance, budget, and purchasing modules. Finance, budget, and purchasing teams spent nearly 1,000 hours with the BS&A representatives and internal meetings to develop the electronic process and procedures for this new program platform. I'm showing you just for a second the intricacies of the BS&A project. This month of February, this past February, was dedicated to a significant amount of end user training for all departments on the following subjects: general ledger, cash receipting and miscellaneous receivables, purchase requisitions and accounts payable, and budget. Go live date March 2nd has come and passed. The system is up and running, and many of us are already using it. In the midst of COVID-19, many employees working remotely, all the end users contributed to the success of this implementation. Highlighted the benefit of the reduced paperwork and electronic approvals. There are many, many benefits of BS&A as a financial system and platform. I want to just talk with you just for a second about how we as a team are improving our IT interface with departments with regard to BS&A, and we're adjusting internal routing of requests and the electronic approval process. Even though the program is live, BS&A support will continue through November 2020. Asset management. This is a critical and a piece of our technology platform that is going to enable us to have a number of initiatives, from budgeting of our capital programs and facilities to better management of these programs and facilities. The project kickoff in April of 2019 introduced a multi-year, multi-phase project. The initial focus, as you know, was on water and wastewater utility infrastructure and data collection methods. LiDAR, light detection and ranging, data collection, often used by the military, aided us in the development of GIS data to support the asset management system and all the layers being developed. So with regard to LiDAR data collection, light detection and ranging technology often employed by the military, we worked on the development of GIS data to support our asset management system. As you may recall, the data collection began in July 2019 using vehicles as well as fixed-wing aircraft and drones. 108,000 attributes were populated on these layers. 340 million aerial LiDAR points were classified and included on the aerials, and 136 alligators, ironically, were spotted by these technicians. The district is in the process of performing an internal review of the available data layers for the utilities north of County Road 466. Once the utility data is complete, the district will seek and have other GIS data developed, including our recreational assets. And now I want to introduce Mr. Blair Bean, who is the District Property Management Director. Blair?
Thank you for the introduction, Richard. I'll take my mask off so everyone can hear me. So I'm here today to share with you information regarding current and upcoming capital improvement projects within the district. So the first project I'd like to share with you is the Morse Revetment project. This project will restore the slope and the shoreline damaged by past storm events and provide for erosion protections in the future. The planning was designed based on findings from the 2016 engineering report prepared by Kimley Horn and Associates. And as you can see on the slide, there's some additional information regarding that report. The report recommended 4 repair options: a rock revetment, a living shoreline with breakwater, a living shoreline without breakwater, and a GeoWeb slope option. So after the evaluation of these options, the GeoWeb option was selected as the desired option to proceed forward with in the design. These graphics depict the typical slope stabilization uses for that GeoWeb product. The design of the project is scheduled for fiscal year 2021, with construction occurring in fiscal year 21-22. Our overall project budget is $1.23 million for this project. The multimodal tunnel guide sign project, phase 1, was completed in fiscal year 2019-2020 to provide guide signs at decision points corresponding with tunnel locations where people needed to know which direction they wanted to go. So phase 2 of the project is scheduled to occur in fiscal year 2021 with the focus of installations of the same reflective guide signs as phase 1, except at locations consisting of intermediate trail destinations for district assets. Also presented at this year's budget was PWAC had requested the district review daytime lighting within multimodal path tunnels. From that review, district property management and district staff developed a pilot project at tunnel B11, which is at Buena Vista Boulevard near Laurel Manor, for the application of a high contrast interior coating. After the application, we were able to take multiple readings and review the data over a period of the last year to indicate an improvement of available light levels of over 200% at the center of the tunnel. So based on that information, there was a recommendation to the board to proceed forward in fiscal year 2021 with a project to install these new coatings in all district tunnels with the exception of District 2 and District 12, which are scheduled to be completed in fiscal year 21 and 22. And from the slide, you can see a notable difference in the light levels. Our next project that we're going to talk about some is conceptual design for a Lake Miona nature trail. It's a proposed 1.5-mile loop trail bordering the Black Lake Preserve. And here you can see from the slide that it's a beautiful park-like setting. As you can see on the map, the path will begin and end at the Lake Miona Outdoor Fitness Area, with the path loop located just beyond the Old Mill Run roundabout on Buena Vista Boulevard prior to returning back to the location at Lake Miona. The concept design is for a concrete path with a short timber bridge approximately 100 feet across an existing drainage area. Also in the works is design is underway for the new First Responders Recreation Center up off of County Road 42 in Marion County. The concept designs for the floor plans and the outdoor amenities have been completed, and these are the actual concept plans. This project is scheduled to begin construction in February of 2021 with an estimated completion date of March 2022. We're currently in design for this project. Construction is also underway for the new Rio Grande air gun range. As you can see in the photos, progress is well underway. The new range features storage closets, additional shooting stations, an extended roof overhang for additional shading, and a tray ceiling for recessed ceiling fans. This is actually the concept drawing for the completed range, which you saw under construction. This project is 50% complete right now with an anticipated completion date of July 2020. Once the new facility is in service, the old facility will be removed. Also underway is work on the new Brownwood Woodshop. The Brownwood Woodshop is currently under construction, and it's 10,000 square feet concrete structure with a mezzanine, an elevator access, and advanced dust collection system. These photos are in progress where you can see the exterior walls have been placed up. The parking lot is designed to hold 44 vehicles. The project is located behind the fire station across from Eisenhower Recreation Center on Buena Vista Boulevard. Thank you very much. I hope that answers all the questions you may have on upcoming and current projects within the CIP program for the district. And now I would like to introduce Chief Kane to speak about fleet and district fire operations.
Thank you, Blair. Good afternoon. My name is Edmund Kane. I'm the Fire Chief of the Village's Department of Public Safety. VPSD is the fire department that provides fire protection, non-emergency transport, and advanced life support emergency medical services to the residents and visitors of the villages. We have been providing fire protection to the villages since 1999. Our department is currently composed of 120 full-time firefighter personnel, and with an additional 16 personnel on the administrative side. In addition to providing fire protection, we also provide paramedic response to all emergency calls for service. Our current staffing goal is to have a minimum daily staffing of 40 firefighters on duty, with a ratio of 70% paramedics. 2 battalion chiefs also work a 24-hour shift. Our operations are split amongst 3 shifts, A, B, and C, rotating on a 24-hour basis and off duty for 48 hours. Our response area currently spans 89.9 square miles of the villages, as we protect areas of Fruitland Park, Lady Lake, and Lake County, Marion County, and Sumter County in addition to the villages. We currently have 9 stations throughout our response area, and we're currently planning for an additional 10th station, which we are planning to locate for the areas of 470 at this time. We analyze our data based upon fiscal years. For fiscal year 2017, we responded to over 22,000 calls for service within the villages. For 2018, we responded to a total of 24,000 plus calls for our service area. This was a 7.5 increase in call volume compared to 2017. 2019, we responded to 29,220 calls for the service. This is a 21.5 increase from the past year. For this current year to date, we have responded to a total of over 20,000 calls for service, and we are projecting approximately 33,000 calls for service for 2020 based on the average percentage increase in call volume of 14.5%. Out of the 29,000 plus calls for service we responded to in 2019, 55% were EMS related calls, 34% service calls, and 7% were good intent calls. 1% were fire related incidences, and 3% were false alarms. Measuring our ability to provide fire protection and emergency medical services, rapidly effectiveness and safety of the utmost importance to two of the components we analyze the most frequently in regards to measuring our service delivery, our turnout times and travel times. We analyze these on an average and also at a 90 percentile, which basically means that if we have 100 calls, we organize the data ascending order, and we are looking at the data for the 90th call. This is a fractile analysis and is a more scrutinous way of analyzing our response data in addition to being a requirement for accreditation. Turnout time, this is the reaction time of the firefighters and measured the duration of time from the moment the station is toned and the firefighters are dispatched to the time they initiate response to the scene and appropriate fire apparatus. Our benchmark goal for the turnout time is 60 seconds, day or night, 90% of the time for all emergency call services. Baseline performance for 2019 was 1 minute and 20 seconds, or less 90% of the time for all emergency calls for service, and an average of 46 seconds. Travel time is the time it takes for our firefighters to physically get to the incident, curb to curb. This is measured from the time our firefighters advise they are responding to the time they advise they are on scene of the incident. Travel time can be influenced by a number of factors that we take into account, such as inclement weather, traffic, road conditions, and call locations. Our benchmark for travel time is 6 minutes and 30 seconds, 90% of the time for all emergency calls. Our baseline for 2019 was 7 minutes and 20 seconds, or less 90% of the time for all emergency calls, and an average of 4 minutes and 39 seconds. As the district's population and our call volume continues to grow, our department must also grow in order consistently be able to meet the demands associated with the growth as we have experienced over the past year. As the district, our population and our call volume continues to grow. Our department must meet the growing needs of the public and associated with growth. We have experienced over the past year, since our last Momentum meeting, we are opening our 9th station, expanding and renovating Station 40 on Parr Drive to house an aerial apparatus, improve the crew's living quarters, and expand the life of the station. Renovating Station 43 on Parr, improve the crew's living quarters, expand the life of our station. We saw an increase in Neighbors Helping Neighbors AED program to over 220 residential groups throughout the district. Okay, we've also dedicated one of our public education technicians to the AED program and the CPR community outreach. Our goals for the coming years include completing a company officers inspection program to enhance our community risk reduction and provide pre-incident fire planning, which improves the firefighters' safety. Achieve accreditation status through the Commission of Fire Accreditation International. Due to the COVID-19, we have been granted a 1-year extension for our application process, and we're reviewing and still actively going through the process required by CFAI to achieve accreditation status. We are currently an applicant agency in good standing. Improve our ISO rating from our current status of 2 to a 1, covering an area of almost 90 square miles and responding to almost 3,000 calls for service Our current travel time performance is phenomenal. However, as we consistently strive to provide the highest level of service, and we are always looking to improve as a department, we have established a goal of improving our travel time to emergency calls to 6 minutes and 30 seconds or less 90% of the time, and maintain an average of 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes. Our firefighters do a commendable job in turning out to incidents, and our goal is to maintain a turnout time, all emergency incidents, of 60 seconds or less 90% of the time. Over the course of the next 3 budget cycles, it is our goal to add an additional 3 firefighters to each station to increase and improve the staffing levels each year, totaling 27 firefighters at the conclusion of the 3-year budget cycle. Our fleet logistics manager, Zoe King, oversees the fleet of the entire district, including utilities and all of our fire apparatus and fire administration vehicles. We have a total of 91 vehicles that are leased throughout the district and 7 hybrids in this fleet. We're working to maximize its efficiency and show positive stewardship with our funds, and are hoping to add more hybrid vehicles in the upcoming years of the district utilization. Total number of frontline fire apparatus is broken down to 5 engines, 5 rescues for EMS responses, 3 ladder aerial trucks, 1 marine unit, 2 attacks, 2 battalion chiefs vehicles, 1 squad for technical rescue equipment trailer, and utility vehicle. In June of 2019, we contracted with Sumter County for fleet maintenance of our fire apparatus. They are completing an average of 30 work orders a week. 1,242 work orders have been completed since June of 2019. These work orders range from preventative maintenance, which includes fluid changes, to major vehicle repairs. Their team is working hard to ensure our fleet is up and running 24/7. In addition, we have added Geotab to the lease vehicles. This has been a very valuable asset in making the fleet aware of issues so that they can be addressed before they worsen. It also assists us in analyzing where we can improve and encourage safe driving habits. Fleet has been participating in a staggered delivery method to minimize the time it takes to transition the old fleet to the new fleet. We are extremely proud of our firefighters and their hard work, commitment to service, dedication to stewardship. We're continuously growing the department, and we are appreciative of the support of our community and all of the district, and it is an honor to serve you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Kane. Just wanted to thank you all for your attendance and participation with this Momentum session. We'll have another one in about 4 months. And I want to thank each of you for upholding our core values: hospitality, hard work, creativity, innovation, and stewardship. Thank you again, Richard Baer, and we'll see you around the districts. Bye now.